Maggie Reigh. Now, when it comes to stress, how much of our stress goes up when we're trying to get other people to do their job so we can do our job? And we go through this whether it's parenting or in the workforce. Now, Maggie, you wrote the book on this sort of an area when it comes to raising children. So what's an example of what you do when it comes to kids, where you need to get something done, but you need to get them to do their job first?
Or you just need to get them to do something so that this situation becomes more comfortable. I mean, take the classic temper tantrum.
Okay.
Child in the middle of the department store wailing away, and we think, well, most of us decide we need to get this child to stop wailing, and we get down there and say, stop it, stop it.
So
and
we're
then
focusing on controlling the child.
Yes, and when
Okay.
we're focusing on controlling the child, what happens?
Well, they're going to rebel.
They rebel, and there's all this stress, and it just happens more and more, and it's really wild.
Yeah.
So, if we want to avoid that, we've got a 3-step process that is so simple.
Mm.
Not easy, but simple to use. And the first is to really stop. As soon as we realize we are stressed, stop.
Okay.
Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of focusing on what we need to make them do, decide what I do.
So what you're
Not
saying, we
what
don't
the
focus
child
on
will do.
controlling the kid, we focus on what we need to do in the moment.
Absolutely.
So what would be an example? Your child's having a temper tantrum, you're feeling that stress, you stop, you breathe, and then...
I decide I might need to take that child out. I might need to just leave my cart there for a moment and take them out of the store because they maybe have had too much. We all have been there. We know that.
Okay.
One mom decided she'd get down on the floor and do a temper tantrum beside her child, and that stopped the child immediately. So whatever it is, decide what you will do.
So I guess what you're really saying is to not focus on controlling what you want them to do in that moment,
Yes.
is to really focus on what you yourself can do in the moment.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Maggie, we're talking about kids, but as they say, you can only be young once, but immature forever. So when you get to the workforce, it's the same stuff. So something I hear a lot from new managers is they're under pressure, they're managing multiple projects, and you delegate a job to someone. And you've got time constraints, and that person comes back, they've either not done it, or they've done it so totally wrong it takes you 10 times longer to do it yourself. So my first instinct would be perhaps to get angry or force that employee to do the right thing. So instead, in that scenario, they haven't done what they're supposed to do for me to do my job, what do I do?
So really it's changing our own inner game. Stop. Realize the tendency is to do that and
Yes.
engage in that
Yes.
angst
Mm.
and decide what I will do. Breathe. And then decide what I will do. Okay, looks like things aren't done. Maybe I need to check. What was your understanding of what needed to be done? Maybe I need to lay the parameters of what does need to happen and be on my desk at 4 o'clock.
Well, that's another tip on how to avoid these things in the first place. Yet when it hits the fan, in that moment, I would stop, breathe, and then focus on what I can do myself and what I can control myself rather than focusing on forcing them to act a certain way. That's the main thing.
And you know what that is. As soon as you make that inner shift, you know what it is.
Okay. Well, thanks, Maggie. It's a pleasure. So stop, think, and focus on what you want to do, not focusing on forcing someone else to do something else.